My first year as a beekeeper, Season 1. It's the 2nd of May and it's about 2 weeks since I first received my nucleus of bees. I've been regularly checking in on the hive and it's safe to say they look fantastic. It's now time for the first inspection. The aim of today is going to be look through each of the frames to check to see how they're expanding and see if we can see any signs of the queen. This is going to be especially important given the catastrophe of our first ever time dealing with the bees. So let's hope she's there and let's get cracking. We're just starting off by smoking the bees. This will help to keep them calm. Next, we're going to remove the roof and the feeder that we're using. The type of feeder we're using is a poly-ashforth feeder. Whilst I'm doing this, it's good to see that the bees are actually pretty chill. They aren't flying up at me or trying to attack me. Despite this though, I am going to make sure to keep topping them up with the smoke, and this should just, again, keep them calm and hopefully make it so that I don't get stung or anything. Now I'm looking to remove just one frame. You can see the way I'm kind of going about it, I'm quite apprehensive about it. I'm trying to be very careful not to disturb the bees and also try not to get stung. I eventually settle for the back frame and pull this out. So this frame is already getting drawn out and it's quite impressive considering a couple of weeks ago this was completely empty and had nothing on it whatsoever. Now that this frame is out, I'm going to put it to one side. This will make removing the other frames much easier. Looking at the next frame, when we get this out, you can actually see that it's already completely full of nectar. Again, this is amazing. I think this was completely empty just a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to skip over this next frame so we can get to the frames in the middle. We finally got to our first frame of brood. This one, as you can see, is a little bit more stuck than the others, so it does take a little bit more effort to pull out. So once out, we can see that this frame has both capped brood and larvae. There are also probably some eggs in here, but it's quite difficult to see from this clip. So as you can see from this next frame, there is actually quite a bit of capped brood on it. There's also quite a few empty cells, which you'll probably notice, which would have had bees in quite recently, but they would have emerged out over the last few days probably. And that probably explained the massive increase in the number of bees in the hive since the last time we saw them. And speaking of bees emerging, if you look quite closely, you'll actually be able to see 3 new bees emerging right now. So on this next frame that we'll pull out, it's pretty much going to be the same as the last one we looked at. If you look carefully though, you may actually be able to see the queen running around. I've decided to name her Bertha. Let me know what you think of her name down in the comments, along with if you can see her. So she's actually running around in the middle of the frame, or bottom middle shall I say, and she's a slightly longer bee with a white spot on her back. The white spot is used to symbolise the year of her birth, so this will be 2021. So this next frame that we're pulling out is full of capped brood. Each frame has about 3,500 cells on it, so that's a lot of new bees. Well done, Bertha. That's pretty impressive. Front and back. It's just incredible, really. We're going to skip over the next frame and go straight to the final frame of brood. This one is pretty much empty, so you can see that there must have been quite a lot of the bees that have emerged over the last week or so. And that's pretty much it for this inspection. It's been pretty successful. We've seen lots of brood and larvae, and we've also managed to see the queen, Bertha, which is pretty good going. We'll next be back at the end of the week to do our next inspection, and we'll see how far the hive has come along. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.